What up, y'all? Hopefully this works. I've never done this before, but I think it should work. And so I'm going to show you how to quickly edit your Lightroom photos. I think any photo you're sharing should be edited a little bit, at least the vast majority of them. I'll show you how to edit like some of these later, but I want to start by showing you one that could use a little bit of editing to really make it pop. Okay, so I'll go with this one. And so everything that I'm going to suggest are guidelines. Of course, depending on what style you're trying to make, you might stick with some of the things that I'm changing or make different changes. And so the first thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to try to make this a relatively photorealistic one. And so I'm going to change the color because like everything's more yellow than it should be. And so it's really easy. You're going to go into here and you hit that color button. And now you're going to go into the white balance. And different times you'll get different results, but let's start with auto. And yeah, that's actually pretty good. You can change it a little bit if you want to, but I actually think that that'll be good for what we want to start with. And then you really want to go to light next. And so with the light, I'm gonna start by bringing up the picture. And actually let me hit the upper right button. I'm gonna go to view options. I'm gonna turn on the histogram, because this actually shows you stuff. Now you're taking a pretty dark photo, so we're gonna live to the left of this histogram, where most photos you kind of want here, but as you can see, it's not really gonna look good because of how dark it was. So this is where it starts, and you can see so much of it's black, and we don't want that, and it's even clippy, and I'll explain what that is later. But let's bring it to like kind of an acceptable spot here. On the computer, you can do some pretty cool denoising, but on the iPad, for some reason, it doesn't let you. And so I like to bring highlights down. You see how you get like just more color in that, more natural color. Bring the whites up to a suitable point. Obviously, that's not suitable. So you kind of find something. Bring the blacks to a part. And again, everything's by taste and what you're trying to do. I bring them kind of here. And then your shadows, this is really the only thing that kind of goes both ways. My highlights are almost always to the left. My whites are almost always to the right. My blacks are usually to the left. This one's basically in the middle. But my shadows, it depends what I'm trying to do, right? Am I trying to create some drama? Which I'm probably not in here because it's already a dark photo. Maybe I stay here. And then, maybe I'm trying to show more. So I bring it up. You don't want to bring shadows all the way up because then things look real kind of fake and AI-y. But like right about here, that can get you a lot of where you want to go. And so again, on the computer, there's like a denoise button that does a lot of really cool stuff and takes away a lot of like the grain that you see here. And so you can do noise reduction on this, but it's a lot worse, right? And it just looks cheap and glossy. But you can maybe get away with like going a little bit on it. But I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it. The next thing you might do is color. You could try to find a better white balance. It's still a little yellower than I want it to be, but I honestly think that's just because you took it in yellow light. I could bring it down here. And now it looks a little too green, so I'm going to change the tint. And actually there, right now, basically looks like you took it in white light. Vibrance is, so saturation, you're probably familiar with. It's like that color. And I'm going to explain vibrance wrong, but vibrance is basically kind of like those middle tone colors. So if something's already saturated, it's not going to bring it up a ton. But you see here, it's tough because this photo is already really dark, so you might not have got a lot out of it anyways. But when we compare it to what we started with here to what we are now, especially when you denoise that on a computer, we'll have a pretty solid shot. Now, some things you can do with colors, I'm probably going to actually show you in the next video. So hit that subscribe button.